Did you know that Charlotte, North Carolina has a crime rate that exceeds both national and regional averages? Stay tuned to find out more. Let's take a closer look at the crime situation in the Queen City. Recent statistics show that overall crime in Charlotte is a staggering 77% higher than the national average. This means that unfortunately, there's a 1 in 25 chance of becoming a victim of crime. Compared to the national and regional averages, Charlotte's crime rate paints a worrying picture. The violent crime rate in Washington Heights is 2,982 per 100,000, or 294% above the national average. Despite this, Washington Heights is a neighborhood with a strong community spirit. Seversville, with a population of only 603, has a crime rate that is 323% above the national average. However, it's important to note that Seversville is also home to engaged citizens working to make their neighborhood safer. And we have Lakewood. With a population of 887, Lakewood's crime rate is 435% higher than the Charlotte average. However, Lakewood is not defined by these statistics alone, as community leaders and residents are actively involved in crime prevention efforts. Greer Heights has a population of 2,958 and a crime rate that is 365% higher than the national average. Despite this, Greer Heights boasts a strong sense of community and ongoing efforts to reduce crime. Lastly, we have Enderley Park in northwestern Charlotte. Known for its notoriously bad reputation, Enderley Park has a population of 3,249 and a violent crime rate that is 292% higher than the national average. Despite these challenges, the community remains hopeful and committed to change. While these neighborhoods are currently experiencing high crime rates, efforts are ongoing to improve safety and security for all residents. Crimes prevalent in Charlotte. When we talk about crime, we often categorize it into two major types: violent crime and property crime. Violent crimes are offenses that involve force or threat of force, including crimes like homicide, rape, and robbery. The violent crime rate in Charlotte is a staggering 102% higher than the national average. This means that a resident of Charlotte has a 1 in 134 chance of experiencing a violent crime. However, it's not all doom and gloom. There have been promising trends where violent crimes are concerned. The rates of homicides and rapes have seen a decrease, which is a step in the right direction. On the other hand, property crimes are offenses involving the theft or destruction of someone else's property. These include crimes like burglary and car theft. Unfortunately, Charlotte's property crime rate stands at 55% higher than the national average, translating to a 1 in 30 chance of a resident encountering such a crime. In northeastern Charlotte, we find Plaza Shamrock. With a population of 3,078, Plaza Shamrock has a crime rate that is still 297% above the Charlotte average. Yet this community is not deterred and continues to rally for safety improvements. How does Charlotte's crime rate compare to that of other U.S. cities? This is an important question that can help us understand the broader context of crime in Charlotte. Let's start with Atlanta. Charlotte's crime rate is higher than that of Atlanta. This might come as a surprise, given that both cities are in the South and share similar demographics and economic conditions. However, it's important to remember that crime rates can be influenced by a range of factors, from policing strategies to community engagement. Next, we have Memphis and Nashville, two cities that are often compared to Charlotte due to their similar sizes and cultural vibrancy. Yet when it comes to crime, Charlotte has a higher rate. This suggests that Charlotte may have distinct challenges that need to be addressed, whether that's a particular type of crime or specific areas of the city. Tryon Hills is another neighborhood to note. This area has a population of around 1,600 and a crime rate that is 391% above the national average. Tryon Hills, though, is more than just these numbers, with residents continually working towards a safer community. Next is Lincoln Heights. With a population of 2,376, it has a total crime rate that is 449% higher than the Charlotte average. Despite these daunting numbers, local community initiatives are aiming to curb this trend. With Pinecrest, this neighborhood may be small with a population of only 227, but the total crime rate is a staggering 529% higher than the Charlotte average. While the overall crime rate has seen a marginal increase of 11%, certain types of violent crimes such as homicides and rapes have actually decreased. Now let's break it down further. Violent crime in Charlotte is a whopping 102% higher than the national average. This translates to a 1 in 134 chance of experiencing it. Meanwhile, property crime is 55% higher than the national average, meaning there's a 1 in 30 chance of encountering it. But here's a silver lining. The year-over-year trends show a 5% decrease in violent crime, even as property crime has risen by 14%. Specific crimes like homicide, rape, robbery, and residential burglary are on a downward trend. On the flip side, car theft appears to be on the rise. So, what does this all mean for the residents of Charlotte? It's a mixed bag. While the crime rate is higher than desirable, there are positive trends that point towards a safer future. The decrease in violent crimes, for instance, is a promising sign. Then there's Smallwood, located near downtown Charlotte. Smallwood has a population of 1,183 and a violent crime rate that is 305% above the city average. Despite these statistics, Smallwood is also known for its community engagement and resilience.